From the opening tip-off, Lakers Pistons Game 4 of the NBA Finals from the Palace of Auburn Hills, a place that saw back-to-back NBA champions back in 89 and 90. It's been a long time between drinks of water, but the Pistons fans, they are thirsty and they are ready to drink from that victory cup. But they cannot, well, they can clinch it in Detroit, but in the history of the 2-3-2 format, no team that has had the middle three games at home has won all three of those games. So in that sense, the Lakers have a little history on their side, but they're certainly going to need more than that knowledge. They're going to have to get it done out there on the floor. And it's obviously been a problem dealing with the backcourt of the Detroit Pistons as Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton have been ripping that Laker defense.
Well, those two guys have essentially carried the Piston offense, and both have been aggressive. Both have taken it to the basket. Of course, with Rip Hamilton, you know he's going to run you off some weak side picks. And Chauncey Billups has been very aggressive.
Good evening and welcome.
And we're going to step aside now for some of the pregame festivities, the anthem and the opening lineups, starting lineups for each team. So let's step aside.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you remain standing as we now honor America with the singing of America the Beautiful by Detroit's international recording superstar, Kid Rock.
We'd like to dedicate this version of America the Beautiful to our men and women in the armed services, also to former President Ronald Reagan and the late, great Ray Charles. Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above thy fruited plain. Oh, America, oh, America, God shed his grace on thee, and I will crown thy good with brotherhood from sea. The world is shining. See, let's rock and roll.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kid Rock. We now present to you some of the world's greatest athletes. First, how about a warm palace welcome for the visiting Los Angeles Lakers. From Oregon State, number 20, the 6'4" guard, Gary Payton. From Lower Merion High School, number 8, the 6'6" guard, Kobe Bryant. The center from Louisiana State, number 34, the 7'1" Shaquille O'Neal. From Louisiana Tech, number 11, the 6'9" forward, Karl Malone. Also at forward from Augsburg, Minnesota, number 3, the 6'8" Devin George. And the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, Phil Jackson.
It's time. It's playoff time, Detroit. Let's go to work.
look at the Detroit Pistons starting lineup. It's a lineup that has gotten it done for Detroit throughout this entire postseason. Rip Hamilton, 31 points. He and Chauncey Billups combined for 50 in that Game 3 victory. O'Neal and Bryant combined for just half that amount. No changes in Phil Jackson's starting lineup, but it's who he comes off the bench with that will certainly tell a story of any adjustments he may be making tonight.
And he won't wait long, I don't believe, Mark. He'll see what Karl Malone brings to the table early, and if Karl Malone can't get it done because of the knee, he'll bring in someone from the bench. If Gary Payton struggles early, he'll get Derek Fisher in there very early and maybe keep him in there a long time. Phil Jackson cannot afford to stay with guys who are non-productive tonight. If he goes down 3-1, it's very easily lights out in this series. He's got to get this at 2-2.
Exactly. 7 teams have overcome 3-1 deficits to come back and win a series, but none of them have been in the NBA Finals. So in that sense, history very much against the Los Angeles Lakers if they end up losing tonight. You talked about you need some support. You need production from somebody besides Kobe and Shaq.
Right.
Nobody else is averaging even 7 points a game in this series for the Lakers. That is amazing.
And interestingly enough, in games 1 and 2, I think that Larry Brown had the philosophy, well, we'll give Shaq his points and maybe give Kobe some of his points. We'll shut everybody else down. That has been awfully effective because the rest of the Lakers have not been productive at all. And somebody has to step up and give Kobe and Shaq some help. Although, as good as those two guys are, Mark, they might be able to carry the show tonight by themselves.
And there's Karl Malone. People will be watching him very closely. They say it's even possible he's got some type of tear in a ligament in his knee. If that's the case, obviously he may be looking at surgery after the season, and he's obviously wondering about his entire decision that he made to come to the Lakers, to go after that championship. Here he is in the finals, and perhaps too hurt to finish it.
Well, he might be too injured, but he is such a tough-minded individual that there was no way anybody was going to keep him out of this game or Game 3 when most players, frankly, would have shut it down. He is so hungry for a championship. He's going to go out there and give it everything he has. Whether that's enough will be pretty evident and pretty early.
Well, and they're 3 NBA titles together. This Shaq and Kobe core of Lakers has faced some adversity. There's no doubt about it. In fact, this year, they were down 0-2 to the Spurs, so we shouldn't write them off yet, as we have a violation on the opening tip again in this postseason, and particularly in the finals.
That's what,
at least 3.
Third game in a row that Shaq has violated on the tap. Now, a guy that big and strong and a guy who can jump going against a guy 6'9" should never violate the tap.
Dick Pavetta, Eddie F. Rush, and Jack Nees are the officials. To finish the thought, down 2-0 to the Spurs and then put them away in 6. But this has a feel of something of much more pressure as far as the Lakers are concerned. Hamilton misses the opening shot. The tip wouldn't go for Rasheed Wallace.
Right away, Detroit starts out with an offensive rebound. Not a good sign for the Lakers.
No.
What the Lakers have to do offensively is move, move, move. Get the ball moving, get the feet moving, get a lot of people with touches. And the last couple of games, they've been very stagnant on the offense. Slow to react, slow getting the ball up the floor. They've got to have a crispness on offense so that Detroit cannot do that sagging kind of defense.
There's Payton, who has been non-existent except to get ripped by Chauncey Billups. And here is Kobe, a deep 3. That's not the type of ball movement and crispness that I think we're looking for.
Well, you're seeing it right now. They are not operating with a whole lot of urgency offensively.
Kobe at the free throw line. That was a nice look, but it wouldn't go.
Now let's see what the Lakers do defensively. They've had all kinds of problems with the pick and roll And if you remember, they had those same problems against Tony Parker with the Spurs. They made an adjustment, sagging guys into the paint and forcing Parker to get rid of the ball, and other people were not making jump shots. I think Phil Jackson has decided to go back to that defense tonight. The sagging in the paint kind of helped.
That last foul was on Devin George trying to hold Rip Hamilton, who has it stripped away.
Well, there was some sagging, double teaming, help defense. Gary
Payton takes it down low, couldn't finish, and a loose ball foul in the rebounding action. It's going to go against the Lakers.
It's going to, I think, go against Devin George on that, trying to get an offensive rebound. Interesting though, that Gary Payton being very aggressive, trying to take the ball in the basket. Rick Fox making an early appearance.
As speculated,
I'm not surprised.
Game in the finals.
I'm not surprised. Phil needs a spark, and he needs some defense.
Another offensive rebound. Tayshaun Prince takes it to the hole.
And the offensive rebounds have really hurt the Lakers. They have given up an awful lot of extra shot attempts to the Pistons.
Fox feeds Kobe for the drive. And he lays it in. Already Fox paying dividends with a beautiful delivery.
Very well executed play for the Lakers.
Something we saw almost none of in the first 3 games of this series. They haven't been able to execute against that tough Detroit defense. Here is Payton setting the offense. Back on top for Fox. Down low for Shaq. Really low, and he hammers it.
Well, the key for the Lakers, if Shaq can get that real low position, he's unstoppable. No matter how many guys they throw at him, he's unstoppable. I was interested to see how the Pistons would defend that. They did not run doubles at Shaq when he got the ball in the low block.
Hamilton, tough shot on the baseline to tie it.
Well, what you're seeing with Rip Hamilton is he just wears defenders down with the constant movement and constant running people off picks. It just wears on you, and he winds up with so many open mid-range opportunities.
High post, Malone. Hands for Kobe. Tayshaun Prince is on him. Kobe splitting 3 defenders and turned it over.
Well, early on, Kobe is trying to take the game into his hands, trying to do a little bit too much.
Hamilton had it stripped away, but got it back. It's Fox on him. The veteran defender. Pull-up jumper from the corner. Short for Wallace. Oh, kept alive by Prince, and Wallace was fouled. Ben Wallace, that is. The foul will go against Rick Fox.
Tayshaun Prince has gotten his hands on about 3 offensive rebounds. Right now, he's being defended by Kobe Bryant. And I'm not sure if Kobe Bryant thinks he has a night off covering Tayshaun Prince, having defended Rip Hamilton throughout this series. But he better check out Tayshaun Prince pretty early, because Prince is getting to the offensive boards, and at 6'9", he's got a 7-foot wingspan, and he is getting to offensive rebounds. We just had a technical foul called on Phil Jackson.
Billups hits it naturally. 88% free throw shooter on the regular season.
Yeah, but he's something like, what, now 25 for 26 from the free throw line?
In the finals,
in
yes.
the finals. Ben Wallace is not 25 for 26.
No, not nearly. And he misses the first. The 3 quick fouls on the Lakers, and none called yet on the Pistons, and that's probably where Phil Jackson was heading here. He's made his comments throughout the off days about the fact that they're not being rewarded when they do the things that Detroit does defensively. They're getting the calls and Detroit's not, so he's on that immediately. Down low, Shaq again. Great position, another jam.
And a perfect entry pass from Rick Fox away from the defense, and Shaq was down almost underneath the basket when he caught that ball.
6-6. Prince curling into the lane. Out for Hamilton. Would have been a 2. Rebound O'Neal. And here come the Lakers. Payton to bring it up. Gets a screen from Shaq. Now Malone will give to Fox. Down low for Shaq. Against Wallace. Banks it in off glass. He's got 6 of the Lakers 8.
Well, Shaq is in that automatic mode right now, Mark. And the thing that I like the most about the insertion of Rick Fox, he understands, number one, his role is to play defense, but number two, his role is to get the ball into Shaq, and he's done it very effectively.
Billups on the turnaround, ties it at 8. It's been a great series for Chauncey Billups. Sometimes has disappeared in this postseason. The last round wasn't great. The finals have been. And now a foul out front on Rip Hamilton.
Well, we talked about it earlier today, Mark, that Chauncey Billups is a trick-or-treat player, and in this series, it's been all treat and no
absolutely.
trick.
22.7 points a game, shooting almost 48%. That's way above his percentage in the regular season. Great cut by Payton for the lay-in, took the feed from Shaq.
And I'll say it again, once again, a good entry pass from Rick Fox into Shaq, and that's how the offense operates efficiently, inside out. Get it to Shaq. If he can't score, he will pass it.
Foul down low on Karl Malone as he guards Rasheed Wallace. You mentioned Fox. He's been running the offense well. He already has 3 assists since he stepped on the floor.
And all 3 have been passing it into Shaq. So there's a pretty high percentage that you're going to get a lot of assists if you get it into Shaq tonight. For the easy layup. And the offense just works so smoothly when you get it into the big fella.
That is really doing something against this suffocating Detroit defense. They've not given up easy hoops like that. Good move inside. Rasheed Wallace ties it at 10.
Well, the Pistons realize on 2 fronts. Number one, they have to get Rasheed Wallace involved. Number 2, the limited mobility of Karl Malone. So they are going right at him with Rasheed Wallace in the low block.
Fox posting up Rip Hamilton down low, goes to the left hand. Rick Fox has sparked this team off the bench.
And make no mistake about it, he has been an efficient spark for the Lakers. That time on a post-up, much bigger and stronger than Rip Hamilton. He just took him to school in the low block.
Billups to the free throw line for the easy jumper. There has been no answer for Chauncey Billups in this series.
Absolutely. And Gary Payton made his reputation as the best defensive point guard in the game for a lot of years. That reputation is going down the tubes in this series because Chauncey Billups is just simply going wherever he wants to with the ball.
Kobe missed the open look. What a crossover right on cue. Chauncey Billups taking it strong.
And a perfect example right there. On the go, crossover dribble, left Payton in the dust. And looks for Phil Jackson to insert Derek Fisher pretty soon because Gary Payton is not getting it done on the defensive end tonight.
So the Lakers are helping themselves, at least on part of it, getting the offensive execution down. As Shaq gets the turnaround, he's got 8 early points, but the Lakers unable to get the stops at the other end.
Shaq is he's just unstoppable tonight. He's making his movements very quickly and very efficiently.
And that call will go against Chauncey Billups. He slipped to the floor, thought he was pushed. Instead, simply turned it over. Second of the night for Detroit.
It could have very easily been a foul on Shaquille O'Neal, who, after a little bit of a contact, got out of there in a hurry. And he got the benefit of the call.
5 minutes to play in the first quarter, 14 apiece. Hey, this is a shootout right now, the way this series is gone. Payton misses the open 3. Rebound, Rasheed Wallace. Lobs the uplet pass out to Billups. Down low for Ben Wallace. He's going to back it out. Crossed over O'Neal. It went off of O'Neal's left foot. Size 56 foot or whatever it is.
It's huge. And it's tough to get those puppies out of the way in that situation. But Ben Wallace trying to go against Shaq one-on-one.
His newfound offensive prowess. Oh, nice delivery. Hamilton to Wallace, and it'll be a foul on O'Neal, who reached in to try and poke it away.
Excuse me, Mark, but I got shades of Ben Wallace throwing a Dr. J on that coming up and under.
I don't think he was going to make it to the other side.
Yeah, but with the afro, I mean, Shaq finally gets called for the foul, a physical foul, no question about it. Pick and roll. Ben Wallace so effective for the Pistons, setting picks out high, because Shaquille O'Neal will not switch out on those high picks. Ben Wallace is, what, 2 for 3 from the free throw line?
Yes, he is.
Oof.
Playing with the house's money right now. And right down to his average. But wait, we've got a lane violation on the Lakers.
Those kind of mistakes are just killers. You just can't make those kind of mistakes in this series. Of course, you know, having Ben Wallace shoot another free throw may be not all that bad for the Lakers, but he does make this one. But a lane violation, can't have that.
And on the stat sheet, that missed won't count, so he's 3 for 4. Wow, 75% for Big Ben.
Now Ben Wallace fronting Shaquille O'Neal and getting some help from Rasheed Wallace.
Payton breaks down the defense. Lobs for Shaq.
Oh, what a great play that was. And just like everybody in the building, I thought that was a shot attempt, but it was a planned pass and a great play.
Larry Brown thinks it was in the cylinder.
Oh, from that angle, could have been. Could have been.
It does go as Shaq's 5th basket in 5 attempts. 3 of them have been dunks. Tayshaun Prince left alone. Rebound Hamilton.
Another offensive rebound for the Pistons.
Wallace open at the free throw line. Doesn't like to be there. Billups will back it out. This is Fox on it. And a foul out front on Rick Fox. That's his second.
Well, Rick Fox on that play had to defend Chauncey Billups, and on the pick and roll, he knows that Shaq will not come out, so his philosophy was to fight over the top of the pick, and he did it a little too physically, a little too aggressively, and puts a great free throw shooter on the line.
This is all just money in the bank for Chauncey Billups as his outstanding play in the finals continues tonight. 3 for 4 from the field.
Kind of a surprise. Phil Jackson takes out Rick Fox, leaves Gary Payton in the game, and inserts Derek Fisher. And as you said, Rick Fox has been a spark for this Laker team thus far.
Has just picked up the second foul, so perhaps Jackson is worried about that.
I don't think you can play those kind of games in this kind of a series, in this game, with the series essentially on the line. The guys get early fouls. You got to go with them. His bench is not deep enough to play those kind of games.
Kobe missed again. Shaq is there. Foul by Ben Wallace.
Kobe is still struggling with his shot and hasn't seen the ball too much lately. He started the game with an opening foray that he missed most all of his shots, and then the Lakers decided to get the ball into Shaq on every possession, and the offense was working, and now Kobe goes one-on-one and more or less forces the offense. Shaq bailed him out with an offensive rebound.
And this is the first. Second one coming as you look at the Detroit bench.
The Detroit bench has been very effective for Larry Brown, whereas the Laker bench has been non-existent, except for Luke Walton in Game 2.
That's right. 7 points, 8 assists off the bench for Walton. And a very impressive performance in that Game 2 victory for the Lakers. Their only win so far in the finals. Fisher trying to hound Billups. Billups off hesitation. Gets to the hole. Rebound O'Neal.
Trying to see what the Lakers are doing defensively against that pick and roll.
Payton the drive and puts it home. His second hoop of the game.
And originally I thought they would sag the middle and close down the lane, but on that particular play they did not do that. And Chauncey Billups got all the way to the rim. He wasn't able to make the shot.
It is only 2 hoops for Payton tonight, but he does look more aggressive, more confident. Lakers couldn't control the backboard. It'll be another chance for the Pistons. But first, a timeout on the floor at the Palace with 2:39 to play in the first. Gary Payton trying to shake off a terrible postseason to try to help the Lakers even this finals. And first quarter action of game 4, 18 apiece as the Lakers in Detroit battle in game 4 of the finals. Lindsey Hunter is in off the bench for the Pistons. He gives it up to Eldon Campbell, also checking in for Detroit. Here's Tayshaun Prince with Kobe Bryant on him. Goes for the little jump hook turnaround. Rebound to Shaquille O'Neal.
And Shaq has been the defensive rebounding presence that the Lakers need in the last few minutes. After the Pistons got a foray of offensive rebounds, Shaq has just taken over the defensive boards.
Kobe Bryant is 1 for 6 from the field. Down low for Rasheed Wallace. Banks it in. The foul is on Karl Malone.
Well, that time Rasheed Wallace got great position in the low block against Karl Malone, and the Pistons recognized it, got him the ball early. Look at how deep he is, already in the paint, already in the blocks, and it's just a simple turnaround and off the glass. That's way too easy. Karl Malone, limited as he is, has got to do a better job defending on the low block. And Karl Malone really has not given the Lakers a thing in the first 10 minutes of this game.
A rebound and an assist, hasn't even taken a shot. That was his first foul. Down low for Shaquille O'Neal. Now it's Fisher. Kobe on top. Into Malone at the high post. Here's Payton spinning in the lane. Left hand shot from 12 feet. Gary Payton's got it going tonight. 6 points and 3 assists. And here's Hunter. In for Rasheed. They want to work this matchup to the Pistons against Malone. Malone holds his ground. Prince, another offensive rebound. His third of the night.
See, Kobe Bryant's used to defending guards who don't go to the basket for offensive rebounds. He's matched up right now against Tayshaun Prince, and he is not blocking Prince out.
Hunter, problem with the handle. They'll reset. 5 on the shot clock. Hunter drives. Open is Campbell in the corner. Hits nothing. And a shot clock violation as Rasheed Wallace could not control it. With 1:02 to play in the first quarter.
But once again, the Pistons in good position for offensive rebounds.
They've got 5 on the night. Just 2 for the Lakers. Fisher to the corner. Now it's Payton in for O'Neal. Malone open for the jumper. He strokes it.
And he was open because Shaquille O'Neal got the ball in the paint. Rasheed Wallace dropped all the way off of Karl Malone into the paint to help out on Shaq. Shaq just gave it to the wide open Malone, who made the jump shot.
A 1-point Laker lead. 37 seconds to play in the first quarter. High post. Wallace tried to find the cutting Hamilton. It was tipped away. It'll stay with the Pistons. 11 on the shot clock. There's Chauncey Billups. He's leading the Pistons with 9 points. Hamilton coming to the bench, removes the mask.
The man behind the plastic mask.
He has been the hero. One of them, he and Billups, really, in this series. Rasheed Wallace airballs the 3.
And now Dick Bavetta checking with his other officials to see if that ball was deflected. But it wasn't, and it'll go back to the Lakers. Good officiating, though. Don't automatically assume that the three-point shot was an air ball. Check to see if you missed something.
I assumed it.
That's what makes Dick Bavetta the best referee in the game.
Okay, well, it's a good thing he's on this game tonight. It's a big game. Game 4 of the NBA Finals.
Little full court pressure now from the Pistons. Again, to try to wear down the Lakers a little more and take some time off the clock so that the Lakers will not have as much time to get the ball into Shaquille O'Neal.
Wallace will come to the bench. Darvin Ham is into the game also for the Pistons. Kareem Rush has checked in for the Lakers. Here's Fisher. Under 20 seconds left. Right to Shaq. Against Eldon Campbell, the former teammate. Slight differential between the game clock and the shot clock. A foul out front as Darvin Ham got the body in on Bryant.
But you saw right there when Kobe got the ball, he had Shaq in the post with a wide open passing lane, and Kobe elected not to give the ball into Shaq, but to take it himself one-on-one.
Does he know that Shaq is 5 for 5 when he's gotten the ball in the post?
I think he knows that he's struggling. What's he?
1 for 6.
Well, I think he knows that he's 1 for 6 as opposed to Shaq being 5 for 5.
Kobe sets up Peyton in the corner. That's a 3. And that'll do it for the first quarter. And for just the 5th time in 13 quarters in this finals, the Lakers break the positive development for the Lakers, who have the 22-21 lead as we head for the second quarter.
It's even more positive, Mark, when the Lakers figure out that Shaquille O'Neal is unstoppable tonight, and they continue to get the ball into him in the low post. When they did that early on in the first quarter, they scored easily. When they went away from Shaq, the offense struggled. There is a direct correlation there.
205 countries will see the NBA Finals this year in the ever-growing global game. You saw the languages that will be broadcast in, and of course, all the international players in the NBA. Truly making this the global game as we're underway in the second quarter. Laker basketball, a struggling Kobe Bryant, the only downside so far for the Lakers. He gives to Kareem Rush. Now it's Fisher. Slava Medvedenko also in. Up front for the Lakers. Shaq hits again. 6 for 6. He's got a dozen.
And that was a finesse move, not a power move that we're so used to seeing Shaq making. When he makes the finesse moves, you know he's in a different zone. And he's even stepping out here to challenge Chauncey Billups on the pick and roll.
Reach and foul on Derek Fisher. Couldn't resist. Larry Brown, who is a Hall of Fame coach, is yet to win an NBA title. His second trip to the finals. Lindsey Hunter brings it back out front. He'll go to the other side. They want Corliss Williamson against Kobe Bryant. Instead, it's a pull-up for Hunter. Shaq is double-teamed down there as he tried to get the rebound. 2 Pistons. It was Wallace and Eldon Campbell who kept it alive.
And, you know, Shaq will do a good job on his own on the defensive boards, but he needs help. Slava Medvedenko defending Rasheed Wallace did not put a body on him, and Rasheed Wallace was able to get into that play.
Kicked away by Fisher. And it'll be once again underneath Pistons basketball. Shaq has been spectacular. 12 points and 5 rebounds. Also got 2 assists.
And, you know, I keep mentioning the offensive rebound and the lack of blocking out. You know that hasn't escaped Phil Jackson and his staff's notice. And I'm sure it was a point of emphasis during the off days, but yet the Lakers have not made the adjustments that way.
Fisher the rebound and breaking out. Gives to Rush. The Pistons are always back, and they are here. Bryant crossing over, now going to back it out. He's got Corliss Williamson out on him. That should be a mismatch in Kobe's favor. Down low for O'Neal. Against Eldon Campbell. Can't hit that bank shot.
Wow, that was a shot he didn't need to take. He could have worked in against Eldon Campbell and at least come away with a foul. Eldon Campbell will put some body and some muscle on Shaq, but he's just not good enough defensively or quick enough to cover Shaquille O'Neal. And Shaq can't allow himself to settle for those kinds of shots.
It seemed like he just kind of made that one up as he was going. Not known as the most creative offensive player.
Doesn't need to be as big and strong and good as he is.
Here's Williamson. In a few minutes matched up on Kobe earlier in this series. He ate him up. Not that time.
Well, Kobe was very active that time defensively, knowing that he was in trouble if Corliss Williamson was able to low post him.
Not a height advantage, but a severe strength advantage down low. Shaq takes it to the glass and gets fouled. 2 more free throws as the Diesel takes his seat on the cameraman.
A slow fall on the photographer, but one that the photographer won't forget.
40 plus.
Yeah. The Shaq, that's like a stone wall falling on you. Shaq, look at the move. Just all power. Catches the quickness on the first step, and then all power to the rim.
And Shaq hits his first free throw of the night for a 4-point lead. It's the largest of the game for the Lakers.
The big fella is stepping it up. Make no mistake about it. It is very obvious that he is stepping it up in this basketball game. He's making his field goals. He's being aggressive, taking the ball to the basket. He's getting defensive rebounds, and he's even gotten 1 or 2 offensive rebounds. And he may not come out of this game, Mark. They may not be able to take him out.
He's getting it done. He's coming out strong. Who's going to come along for the ride for the Lakers? Rasheed Wallace working on Medvedenko, and the foul on Slava Medvedenko. It is his first in a game.
Actually, Medvedenko did a pretty nice job defensively until the very end of that play. You're looking at Karl Malone on the bench because of the knee. And he just is too immobile to help the Lakers at this particular time.
Now, since Rasheed Wallace came over to the Pistons, they are 34 and 13. He is clearly thought to be a guy that could upgrade their front line for the playoff run. Though he's been a bit inconsistent throughout the postseason, it has certainly helped them to the finals.
Well, it's given them, even though his scoring has been off, it's given the Pistons another big body, an agile big guy who's active on the glass, can post up, can do a lot of different things, and his presence on the floor is more for the Pistons right now than his production.
Pitcher went all the way to the baseline and brought it back out. Now it's Korean rush, looking for Shaq. Instead, they swing it to the near side to Kobe. Kobe on the breakdown, into the lane, hangs, cannot hit. 1 for 7 is Kobe Bryant. Billups, the pull-up 3. Shaq clears the miss. His 7th board.
Kobe needs an easy shot, an easy basket to get himself on track, whether it's at the free throw line or a layup or whatever. He needs something easy. The Lakers do not need those kinds of shots from Kareem Rush.
Step back 3 early in the shot clock. You know Phil Jackson wasn't happy about that. If he could have reached out and grabbed him, he probably would have.
And if he could have reached out and choked him, he might have done that. And Slava Medvedenko picking up another quick foul.
Yeah, the Lakers have come out focused tonight. They need to be down 2-1 in Game 4, but at the moment, they've got the lead over Detroit.
Understandably, for that rushed 3-point shot.
14 on the shot clock as the Pistons inbound.
And also keeps Kobe in there to try to play through his struggles. That's something he's really got to do.
Rip Hamilton struggling as well. He lost it on the spin.
Small lineup for the Lakers. Luke Walton will have to play the 4 position.
6'8".
And that means he has to guard Ben Wallace, essentially.
Open jumper for Fisher. Can't hit. Comes right back to him, but he pushed off Hamilton for the foul on Derek Fisher's first.
Well, when Fisher got into the paint, he was surprised that he was that open. And he really didn't want to take that shot, but had to. And as a result, missed it. And then got a little over anxious when he saw the rebound coming along. And just a little push-up.
Teams combined 1 for 9 from the field in the second quarter. Rip Hamilton only 1 for 4 so far tonight. So he has been very quiet. Like Billups, a great free throw shooter.
Yeah, and the Lakers have actually made a good adjustment in defending Rip Hamilton. They are doing a much better job sliding with him off of those weak side picks and really concentrating on staying with him. The tendency on covering guys coming off weak side picks is to drop down into the lane a little bit and see where the ball is, and you lose sight of your man. They're not doing that tonight.
Hey, bad shot on the fade away from the corner.
4 shots. The Lakers.
Oh, is this on Walton or O'Neal? They're going to get Luke Walton, it looks like, but it could have easily been Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, but most referees in that situation, they understand, and the first initial contact was on Luke Walton. Good call.
Lindsey Hunter taking a little bit of a beating. You know, the only player on the Pistons team that has won an NBA title is Lindsey Hunter. He was a long-time Piston, but he won that title with the Lakers in 2002.
Didn't Eldon Campbell also win a championship with the Lakers? He didn't. But he was with the Lakers as well for a couple of years.
Oh, quick release down the court. Fisher missed the layup with his strong hand. Gets it back. He doesn't miss this time, and he'll get a chance for three.
Now that's good. Aggressive offense by the Lakers. Derek Fisher taking it all the way in. Couldn't make the first layup, but stayed in the play. Looking around for the defense. Surprised that no one came. Shaq keeps it alive on the offensive glass. Fisher just steps in, makes a tough shot. The first one was an easier one.
It was. Surprised he missed it. And he hits the free throw. So he gets 3 instead of 2. I guess he knew what he was doing. At 1 point, Laker lead. A beautiful pass from Eldon Campbell to Cutting Hunter, who was fouled. Fisher, they picks it up. That's his third.
Yeah, that is aggressive offense by the Pistons. The Lakers tried to surprise them with a full-court pressure defense. Didn't surprise them at all. I think that foul went against.
They did give it to Walton. Yep. So his second. Fisher will keep the 2 fouls. Walton's got 2 as well. Hunter hits the free throw. And now Devin George back in. Remember, he picked up the 2 quick fouls in the opening couple of minutes, went to the bench. Fox came in and really jump-started that Laker offense with some great ball movement. Haven't seen him since.
We haven't seen him since, and that's kind of a surprise. He did do a real good job offensively, and Shaq hasn't been getting the ball quite as regularly.
Shaq's got it now. Spins off the side of the backboard. Ben Wallace ripping the rebound away from Gary Payton. And Payton is going to be called for the foul.
Eldon Campbell did a good job defensively that time, simply because he forced Shaq out a step or 2 away from the paint, so that Shaq had to start his move a lot further away from the basket, and he wasn't able to power. He takes that shot outside of the paint, whereas all of his previous shots essentially were inside the paint.
Now, Rick, we heard a lot from Phil Jackson about the disparity in foul calls. Not saying that he wants more fouls called against the Pistons, but in fact, let us do what the Pistons are doing. Tonight, 15 Laker fouls, 5 Pistons fouls.
And a lot of it is the aggressiveness of the Pistons. They're taking the ball to the basket, creating some contact, whereas defensively the Pistons are not creating that much contact.
Count that hoop for Shaq off the crisp ball movement. A chance for a 3-point play.
And a good strong move by Shaquille O'Neal into the paint and right at the rim. He catches it deep. He doesn't wait. He just takes it strong right to the rim, makes the layup, and is at the line for a 3-point play. That stuff works. Keep going to it. Even if you go to it every single time, it's going to work.
Shaq missed the free throw, but a lane violation. It happened when Ben Wallace shot earlier in the game, and he capitalized as 2 of the worst free throw shooters in NBA history. Yes, in the same game, matching up with the for much of it, and going miss for miss from the free throw line. Wallace squeezed away the miss. A 1-point Lakers lead. 7:20 to play in the first half. Corliss Williamson working against Devin George. Out of the double team. Open is Campbell. Pulled the string on it. And George the rebound. Luke Walton looking for Shaq. Instead it goes to Payton. They're looking for O'Neal again.
To the Pistons sagging man-to-man off the ball.
Jack moving without the ball, making himself available. Now 17 for O'Neal in a three-point lead.
How about the quickness of the big fella? Stepping out to receive that pass and a quick turn and shoot.
He originally spun to try to get the lob. It wasn't there, and then he came back for the basketball. And now Derek Fisher will pick up his third foul.
See, what the Lakers are attempting to do on that high pick and roll is fight over the top of it. And I like that philosophy, but I agree with Phil Jackson in this respect. You've got to allow the defense to fight through some picks, and there will be some contact when the defender tries to fight through the pick. You've got to allow some of that.
And since we don't see the Lakers with that feisty, tenacious defense game to game, quarter to quarter, all season long, you do see it out of the Pistons. So are the officials are they used to seeing that and allow more for the Pistons and maybe less for a Piston opponent?
Could be. That's a good point. And officials get into routines when they're calling games, and they, at times, they anticipate a guy's move or a team's defensive philosophy, and sometimes they do let some things go.
17 of 20 from the line is Detroit. Lakers have been there only 6 times. Down low for Devin George, and a foul on Chauncey Billups.
Well, that was one instance where the Lakers got aggressive. Low post, Devin George. Take a look at Shaq. You're right, tried to spin to look for the lob, and then comes back to the ball aggressively.
Lakers still on top by 1, coming up on the halfway mark of the first half. Kobe Bryant has just 2 points in the game. He's not gotten to the free throw line. He's missed 6 of his 7 shots. Billups will come out for the Pistons with 2 fouls.
You see the Pistons defensively. Rasheed Wallace fronting Shaq, Ben Wallace behind him.
Kobe missed again. Quick release off the inbound. Here's Hamilton. He's also struggling. So he's taken half as many shots as has Kobe. Almost turned it over. Nice. Great touch pass. Wallace to Wallace. Ben to Rasheed.
Terrific passing. And Rip Hamilton started it with the pick and roll and a nice pass.
And a travel. The Lakers turn it over. It's only their second turnover of the game. Crowd starting to get in this one. The Pistons looking to turn the tide a little bit.
Haven't seen him since.
Seen everybody else. Right now, Kobe Bryant out there hounding Lindsey Hunter. He's trying to initiate that Detroit offense. Gets it in the hands of Rip Hamilton with Devin George on him. Rasheed for 3. Rebound to Devin George. Payton gets it up quickly.
Lakers trying to increase the tempo, get into their offense a little bit earlier than they have in the past.
Seems like a good idea. Malone through the blind pass. And the foul is going to go against Lindsey Hunter, who is holding Devin George on the cut.
You wonder about that pass. I mean, Karl Malone has made some terrific passes in this playoff series. But you wonder about those kinds of passes in a close game, in a game 4, when you have a team that's as mentally alert as the Pistons are defensively.
Yeah, absolutely. It just seems that a lot in these first few games of the series, that a lot of the passes that the Lakers assume they can make are passes that have been broken up by the Detroit defense. They're just harder to operate against.
Yeah, they are. They challenge you man-to-man, and then they react very quickly on the weak side. Devin George going over to see trainer Gary Vitti. Maybe a little blood coming from Devin George's mouth.
I'll give him a few moments to try and stop that bleeding. Cannot continue play with a significant amount of bleeding.
Gives the coaches a chance at an unofficial timeout.
Larry Brown never passing up an opportunity to send along a few more details.
Talking about the coaches, how can you fault anything that Larry Brown has done in this series? I mean, the only semi-criticism came at the end of game 2 in regulation, not fouling before Kobe made the three-pointer. But, you know, I can see his logic on that as well. He's coached. He's done an outstanding job coaching in this series so far.
Yeah, there's no doubt. The preparation and getting his team to execute what they want to do on the floor game in and game out has been incredible. And as I say that, they throw the ball into the backcourt and turn it over.
Well, nice job, though, on the Lakers running a double at Rasheed Wallace, something they have not done to this point in the series, running a double at a postman for the Pistons, and it surprised Detroit.
Lakers have turned the ball over only twice today. They played much more cleanly. Kobe Bryant wants it against Tayshaun Prince. Now has it out beyond the arc. Takes him baseline. Pull up, jumper, and hits. Finally, this is second hoop of the game.
And he just forced that one-on-one against a pretty good defender in Tayshaun Prince.
There's Ben Wallace. They leave him open. Dangerous pass, but it ended up in the hands of Prince. Prince working against George. Now it's Hunter. Looking for Wallace. 3 on the shot clock. Step back jumper. And the rebound to O'Neal is 9.
And that time you saw Kobe Bryant sagging in the paint to help Karl Malone out.
Kevin George. No on the 3, and it rebounded to the shot clock. So it'll go over to the Pistons.
And again, a quick perimeter jump shot. Kobe Bryant here. One-on-one move. Steps back. Follows through. High arc. Finally gets a break.
Can't defend it any better than that.
That's right.
Pistons down by 3. Under 4 minutes to play in the half. Shaq's got a double-double. 17 points, 10 rebounds. He's 8 of 10 from the field. What do you say he gets another touch here?
You took the words right out of my mouth, Mark.
Malone against 2 defenders.
He's got no lift at all.
In transition, Hamilton. Short on the pull-up. And they say the Lakers touched it last.
And Larry Brown upset with Rip Hamilton for taking that quick shot. But I'll tell you what, he took the quick shot. Ben Wallace was alone for the offensive rebound. See, Karl Malone got no lift. Can't get up off the ground. And when you're in that close, you got to be able to elevate. And he can't do it because of that knee.
Here comes Kareem Rush.
Kareem Rush back in the lineup. Where's Rick Fox? I'll say it again.
Kevin George going to the bench. Rush didn't give much in limited minutes in the first half. And like everybody but Shaq and Kobe hasn't given the Lakers anything in the finals. Shaq gets another rebound. That one just kind of bounced to him. But a lot of white jerseys had a chance at it.
Yeah. Well, what the Lakers are doing effectively defensively is forcing the Pistons to make perimeter jump shots, and they are not doing it.
Kobe challenged and was denied.
They got numbers, though, the Pistons do. Right up front.
Prince hits plus the foul.
Does the absolute right thing in that situation. They had numbers, and Shaq was back at the other end of the floor. See, the defense, I believe that was Rasheed Wallace, and Tayshaun Prince right to the rim. Nobody there. Nobody there to help out. Somebody's got to pick him up.
Long outlet.
Oh, that's a bad play.
Away.
That's a bad play. He's not, Kobe Bryant was not open. Terrific defensive play by Mike James.
It'll still be, it's an 11 rebounds in the game.
Yeah, but didn't we say coming out of the last break that Shaquille O'Neal was 8 for 10 from the floor?
Yeah. That means he hasn't gotten another shot.
That's good, Mark. That is good, and it is accurate.
And it's a problem.
And it is a major problem for the Lakers because the big fella is on his game, and he has got to get touches almost on every offensive possession that the Lakers have, and that has not been happening the last couple of minutes.
Gary Payton's going to inbound for the Lakers. Gives it to Kareem Rush. Here's Kobe out high against Tayshaun Prince. Spinning turnaround jumper.
Tough shot against a very good defender.
Prince had leaked out. Kobe got back in time. Now Mike James, who hasn't had a whole lot of run in the finals here. He's ceded a lot of his minutes to Lindsey Hunter. Ben Wallace left alone. Gives to Hamilton. Hamilton's only made one shot. Still only one. Shaq another rebound.
Hamilton is being defended very well by the Lakers. I said it earlier. And Shaq is just cleaning up every defensive board.
Kobe wide open because Prince fell down. He missed again. 2 for 12. Ben Wallace finishes at the other end. A 1-point Pistons lead. Under 2 minutes to play in the quarter.
Now the Pistons are sagging and collapsing in the middle. But that's the first time the Lakers actually looked for Shaq in the low post in the last several minutes. I mean, you know, I keep saying Rick Fox, but you've got to have players in the ball game who think about getting the ball into Shaq. It just doesn't happen. You've got to go out with the intent of getting it.
Here is Rick Fox.
Thank you. Let's see if he can get something done.
Well, he had to shoot. The shot clock was expiring. Mike James breaking out. And he beats everybody down the floor.
A breakdown by the Lakers defensively. The one fundamental thing you have to do in the fast break is stop the basketball, and the Lakers did not do that.
That's Mike James' first points of the finals. Nice lob inside for Shaq. Blocked.
Slow to get the ball into Shaquille O'Neal's hands for the most part.
Underway with the Lakers having the basketball opening the third quarter in a 2-point deficit. Payton looks right in for O'Neal. Working against Ben Wallace. Down low and dunks it on him.
Now, is that hard to do? I mean, for the Lakers offensively, is that approach difficult? Come down the floor, isolate Shaq, get it into him, let him go to work. Pretty successful.
Very much the way he started this game. Rip Hamilton down for Ben Wallace against Shaq. Doubled down. Knocked away twice by Devin George. And they say Laker basketball.
Yeah, it was off of Ben Wallace. Take a look right here. Shaq working against Ben Wallace, who is the defensive player of the year for several years. Shaq just muscles him. Just moves him out of the way for an easy dunk. I mean, that offense is so easy. You wonder why the Lakers don't do that every time down the floor.
How about this number? Shaq, 9 of 11. The rest of the Lakers, 9 of 30. Do the math.
Yeah, it's not a hard equation.
Give it to the big mathematician.
Now see what the Pistons are doing there. The Lakers so slow in getting the ball into Shaq. Rasheed Wallace playing in between Karl Malone and Shaquille O'Neal, making the entry pass very difficult. You move the ball effectively, that entry pass is easy.
Great drive from Tayshaun Prince.
And where is the weak side help? A player should not be able to get to the basket that easily. There's got to be weak side help, and not just from Shaquille O'Neal. There's got to be weak side help from other people. See, they're standing around, the Lakers are. Move the ball, and you'll be able to get it into Shaquille O'Neal.
Down low, that one comes out. Malone, the offensive rebound. Right back to O'Neal. Right back to the glass and banks it in.
And right back to the glass is right. Get the ball into the big fella. Every time down the floor, good things will happen.
43 apiece. Here's Prince again. Big size advantage over Gary Payton. Screen comes from Wallace. Corner to Hamilton. Now on the move. Billups fakes the jumper. Now takes it from the elbow and beats the shot clock.
How well is Chauncey Billups been playing in this series? And even in this game, he's done it very quietly, but very effectively.
Peyton holding out front. Kobe comes to the basketball. Lost it momentarily. 8 on the shot clock. Sets up Devin George. 3 from the corner.
Now, if the Lakers can actually make some of those perimeter jump shots, it's going to open up the inside even more for Shaquille O'Neal. But I'm not saying to come down with the intent of taking that perimeter jump shot. Go inside out. Get it into Shaq first.
Wallace, strong first half, and he's fouled by Karl Malone. Rasheed had 9 points, 8 rebounds in the first half for Detroit.
And again, Detroit trying to go at Karl Malone, realizing that his mobility is very limited. And if they continue to do that, you wonder how long Phil Jackson will be able to stay with Karl Malone.
Yeah, and it's a problem, too, because he can't come in with an appreciable better big defender. There, the foul by Devin George.
Now, that time on the pick and roll, Chauncey Billups was able to get deep into the paint, and he drew a crowd. Shaquille O'Neal had to respect that and come over for help. And once Chauncey Billups caught sight of the big fella, he dropped it down to Ben Wallace, and the Lakers just simply had to foul Ben Wallace. Right now, Phil Jackson going over with his perimeter defensive people what to do against that pick and roll.
Well, you hear somebody.
I guarantee it's Rasheed Wallace.
Amazing. Yeah, he's talking to Jack Nees, and everybody can hear it, and it's amazing. His guy's at the line. And Ben missing again. 3 for 10. Free throw line for Ben Wallace.
Well, the message there is don't give him any uncontested shots inside.
Absolutely.
Send him to the free throw line.
Cutting Kobe off his hands. The pass was there. 4 on 3 for Detroit. Billups will back it out, at least for the moment. 5 turnovers apiece. Relatively few. Swooping in, Tayshaun Prince. Followed by Rasheed Wallace.
Well, Karl Malone, who was covering Rasheed Wallace, had to come off and respect Tayshaun Prince in the paint. Even though the shot was missed, there was nobody left to block out Rasheed Wallace for the easy follow.
Shaq steps to the double team, missed the jump hook. Rebound Rasheed Wallace. Long outlet pass, broken up.
Stepped out of bounds.
Yes, Hamilton had a foot out of bounds. And it'll be Laker ball. Good defense there from Devin George to break it up.
And the Laker bench was all over that call. And Jack Nees just simply turned and said, I got it. I got the call. Don't worry about it. See, it's Karl Malone who comes over to pick up Tayshaun Prince, and there is nobody to block out Rasheed Wallace.
What penetration does. This is Devin George back out for Kobe. 6 on the shot clock. Among 3 defenders. Didn't get a whistle, and now a run out for Chauncey Billups.
Well, you can't expect Karl Malone to get back on that. And he was the only one able to. Phil looking for a foul, but that's just forced offense on the Lakers' part and not getting the ball into Shaquille O'Neal.
And Phil Jackson's already picked up that quick tee in the early going, so he's got to be careful here. He's still got some questions for Jack Nees. Here's another look. Probably a good no call. Led to the run out. Now Detroit with a 3-point advantage in the third. 10 makes, 4 misses. And most of them right around the basket where Shaq likes it. 21 points, 13 rebounds for Shaq. He leads all players in both categories. Little pressure off the inbound. Medvedenko bringing it up for the Lakers. Now looking for a friend. It's Peyton. Billups is on him.
See, there's very little movement for the Lakers on the perimeter. very little ball movement as well, and it's slow movement, so the shot clock's going down, and they're not getting the ball into Shaq.
And they're going the wrong direction. Kobe has to launch the running three and hits to tie it at 49.
And when you have to rely on those kinds of shots, enough said.
That quieted the Pistons crowd just a little bit. Rasheed Wallace lobs for Big Ben, but wait, gonna wave it off. Foul away from the ball. Larry Brown can't believe it. Like to see that one again.
Yeah, that foul was on Rip Hamilton, away from the ball, setting the screen, I guess.
Back picking for Ben Wallace. Almost never see that. Called anyway. Turnaround jumper from the baseline from Kobe. There will be no carryover from that last make.
4th for 17 from the floor.
Tayshaun Prince lobs for Rasheed, who touch passes to Ben, but they come away with nothing. Just about halfway through the third quarter.
I see standing around, Lakers are trying to force the ball into Shaq. And you got a 3-second violation, I believe.
Yep.
And that's caused, again, standing around, holding the ball over your head, looking at Shaq, trying to force the ball into him, move the ball around the perimeter, and then get it into Shaq. It's very easy to do once you're moving the ball.
Laker offense getting stagnant again. Billups simply fell down along the baseline. Very slow to get up. He may have hurt himself. Third turnover of the third quarter for Detroit. 8 for the game.
Which is a very low number.
Yep.
And the only time, really, the Pistons got out and ran was towards the end of the second quarter, when they had those break situations. Otherwise, it's been a very controlled pace for both teams. Move the ball.
They lob it in for O'Neal, doubled immediately. Finds Medvedenko in the lane. Gets it back off the miss. And was fouled. Rasheed Wallace thinks it should be a jump, and now gets in the face of Medvedenko.
Now, there's no place for that. That's absolutely wrong for Rasheed Wallace to do that, and he should be put in his place. I mean, that should be a technical foul right there, because that essentially is taunting.
I mean, he has kept a running conversation all game long.
Yeah, now Medvedenko comes up short on the first. Goes up, and there's all kinds of contact there. All kinds of contact. And look at Rasheed Wallace saying, I did not foul you, and you had no business throwing an elbow. But he had no business getting in Medvedenko's face.
So Slava Medvedenko will get to the free throw line. He scored only 5 points so far in the NBA Finals, scoreless tonight. On the season, averaged 10 points a game in his 38 starts. He did start a number of games, obviously, this season for the Lakers. Mostly comes off the bench.
But those starts coming when Carmelo missed, 39 games during the season because of the original knee injury.
Right, yeah. Just all those games Medvedenko got those starts. Missed the second, but he did give the Lakers the lead.
Rick Fox back in the ball game.
We'll see what he does. See what the Lakers do with him on the floor. Rasheed Wallace knows Medvedenko's a weak defender, went right at him.
Everybody knows Medvedenko's a weak defender. It just seems like when he's in the game, if there's a post player on the floor, he's going to go against Medvedenko.
It's automatic. Looking to get it to Shaq again. They're fronting him. Medvedenko from 20 on top. Tayshaun Prince comes across to Rip Hamilton. Gets it back from Billups. Now Rasheed again. Same spot. Help coming from Fox. Banks it in, plus the foul. Well, now Rasheed's really going to do some talking.
Now, Rick Fox had to drop down to give Medvedenko help because he was just dead in the water right here. Rasheed Wallace gets that ball bumped, but he's still able to make the shot off the glass.
It's been a big game for Rasheed Wallace. Those 15 points, 11 rebounds, and we're still plenty of time to play in the third quarter.
And those points have essentially come on post-ups. First against Karl Malone, who was limited mobility, and now going against Medvedenko, who's healthy but limited mobility.
4-point lead now for Detroit. Neither team's been able to get clear of the other. Lakers had a 4-point lead in the first half, and Detroit's led by as many as 5. Again on top. Medvedenko just breaks that one. Starts the break for Detroit. Wallace couldn't hit. The rebound taken away by Shaq is 15. Here's Kobe. Fox in a post-up. Payton. Bounce pass for the cutting Kobe. He traveled.
The frustration showing on the Lakers right now. They are just not operating efficiently offensively. Take a look here. Rasheed Wallace knows he can go against Medvedenko. Fox has to drop down, little bump. When's that guy going to get the ball?
Maybe next time. Rasheed Wallace again. Crowd knows it. Goes to the turnaround this time. Shaq rips the rebound. Lakers are going to set up. Enter for O'Neal. Working against 2 defenders and hits the turnaround.
Well, he drew a crowd. The Pistons into that sag defense, but it didn't matter. I mean, Shaq was determined to make the shot.
He's got 23 points tonight. He's made 11 of 15 shots. There has been no answer. But still, it's the Pistons with the 2-point advantage in Game 4.
To avoid getting the ball into Shaquille O'Neal. The insertion of Rick Fox back in the lineup. When he got in the lineup, Shaq got some touches.
And Karl Malone, of course, battling those knee problems, has been once again pretty ineffective tonight in the minutes he's been out there. Rasheed Wallace gets the double team. Repost. Turnaround jumper. It's nothing, but Eldon Campbell is there. He'll be called for the loose ball foul, trying to take the rebound away from O'Neal.
Well, again, the Pistons going right at Medvedenko with Rasheed Wallace. Rick Fox drops down to give some weak side help. Medvedenko goes to the bench.
Walton comes in.
Luke Walton comes in. I guess Phil Jackson had seen enough of Rasheed Wallace posting up. Well, he comes back in now with a smaller player in Luke Walton. Does Rick Fox move over to defend Rasheed Wallace? There's a size disadvantage there, whichever way the Lakers go.
Pull-up jumper. Kobe thought he was fouled. The rebound went all the way out to O'Neal. Payton drives to the baseline and lays it in. 8 points for Gary Payton.
Offense almost by accident that time for the Lakers, but it was effective.
Here's Billups working against Kobe Bryant. Forced him to give it up. Hamilton couldn't control it. They turn it over. Walton on the break. Back to Kobe for the jam.
That's a nice play. Luke Walton catches from Kobe right back to Kobe. And believe me, Kobe Bryant knew he was getting that return pass.
Lakers back on top by a deuce. Kobe assigned to Chauncey Billups. They're a foul out front. Instant that there's contact on that, the whistle.
And every single time there's contact. Right here, nice fast break situation. Luke Walton with the nice touch pass back to Kobe. But you're right. Every time there's any kind of contact out on the perimeter, the Lakers are being called for fouls on the defensive end.
22 fouls on the Lakers, 11 on the Pistons. Just letting you know. Double dribble.
And again, you've got to allow the defensive man to play his man, and you got to give him a little leeway on the contact out on the perimeter, and the rest are not doing that.
Turnovers mounting a bit now for the Pistons, who have 10 in the game, but 5 of them have come here in the third quarter. Jack screens for Kobe. Kobe steps into the lane, sets up Walton for the step back three, halfway out. Halfway down and out. Fox couldn't come up with a rebound. Now Fox will guard Billups. It's a tough matchup. They switch it, and it's Luke Walton on him. Now Richard Hamilton goes by Gary Payton and lays it in.
And again, with a small lineup in there for the Lakers, there may not be a whole lot of weak side help on drives to the basket by the Pistons. And that time you saw Rick Hamilton get all the way to the rim without anybody picking him up.
Fox from the corner can't hit the three. Rebound to Tayshaun Prince.
Not a good shot for Rick Fox.
Hamilton has hit only 2 shots so far today into the lane. Can't get the roll on the pull-up. Under a minute to play in the third. 56 apiece. Detroit getting the better of the battle of the boards. Payton is open for the jumper.
And they're settling for jump shots, Mark. And the Lakers are not making jump shots. They're not a good jump shooting team. And they're settling for jump shots instead of trying to get that extra ball movement and get the ball into Shaquille O'Neal. The Lakers are taking the easy way out, the easy offense, which is jump shots. And that's exactly what the Pistons want them to do.
Medvedenko coming back into the game. O'Neal out. That's Shaq's first break tonight.
It is.
The lob for Ben Wallace off the mark. And now with a shot clock, game clock differential of only about a second or so. Payton holding out.
I would bet the ball gets into Kobe's hands.
Payton works against Mike James. Sets up Medvedenko. Wild shot from the baseline. And the Pistons can't control the rebound. So 3.9 left, and the Lakers will have another chance.
Awfully lucky on that play with the Lakers to get another chance at this, because they completely bungled that first attempt.
Derek Fisher's into the game. The inbound underneath. Walt, good passer to Trigger. Got to hurry. Gets it in for Payton in traffic. Fakes up. A little leaner. And that'll do it for the third quarter. Kobe Bryant still struggling. He is 2 of 8 from the field for 6 points. So the Lakers defense has done a good job of neutralizing, if not shutting him down.
But this game definitely at the pace the Pistons prefer. And again, the lack of overall scoring in terms of total points works in the Pistons' favor.
Kobe is picking up Chauncey Billups. Derek Fisher is guarding Richard Hamilton.
Well, the Lakers staying small.
Tayshaun Prince missed the pull-up. Battle for the loose rebound. Hitting the floor is Fisher, and he finds Fox.
When you go small, it's a team rebounding emphasis. Everybody, all 5 guys, have got to be on the defensive boards.
Down deep for Fox, but he couldn't get anything done. Detroit on the run out. 3-on-2. Pull-up jumper for Richard Hamilton.
Well done, well executed break situation. Rip Hamilton coming down the floor, under control, pulls up for that nice jump shot.
Right in for O'Neal, goes for the hook, won't go. Rebounded Tayshaun Prince.
And again, Shaq takes the shot in the paint, but he could have gotten a shot right at the rim, being defended by Eldon Campbell. He can take Campbell.
Rip Hamilton forces the switch. It's Walton on him for now. Hamilton to the baseline, gave up the dribble. Now it's Wallace. 5 on the shot clock. Hamilton fires and hits with a hand in his face.
Big shot. The Lakers could not have defended that any better, and yet Rip Hamilton makes a huge jump shot.
Hamilton in the NBA Finals, averaging 23 points a game. We were just moments ago saying it's been a quiet night for him. Couple quick hoops and a Laker timeout. LA cannot afford to let this lead get out of hand for the Pistons. Right now, it's just 2 hoops. But this is Game 4 of the NBA Finals. You got to stop it now.
Fantastic. The offense has struggled.
Karl Malone with the warm-ups on as he has spent most of this night. Apparently those few days off did little to quell the pain in that right knee. Wide open. Down low is Walton. He took it into traffic, passed it out to Kobe. Steps through the defense and banks it home.
Nice move, Kobe Bryant. Yeah, Luke Walton took it into the paint, which was the right idea rather than take a jump shot. And yet, Eldon Campbell just shut the door, and Walton had no place to go.
This is Prince on top. Sets up the lob for Ben Wallace, and Walton knew he was beat, and he grabbed a hold to make sure he didn't get the dunk.
This is a very difficult matchup for young Luke Walton, trying to defend against an active guy like Ben Wallace, who is taller and maybe 10 times stronger than Luke Walton. And what Walton tried to do there, just grab a piece of the shirt, slow the big guy down.
3rd foul on Walton. Billups the jumper. He hasn't missed a whole lot of those in this series.
No, but that's almost how you have to play that pick and roll, is allow him to take the jump shot. He creates so much havoc when he takes the ball into the basket.
Walton down to the baseline.
Well, see, Walton's taking the ball to the basket, but everybody in the world knows he's got no place to go with it.
Kobe from deep in the corner, it's nothing. Pistons on the move. Lob for Rashid, and he hammers it down. A 4-point Detroit lead.
Again, a very well-executed fast break situation, and the Lakers with a breakdown defensively, not getting back.
Detroit far from a fast-breaking team, but they have picked their spots and they've cashed in.
Well, take a look at how this break sets up. Rasheed Wallace runs the floor, gets out on the wing. Chauncey Billups with his head up finds him. Perfect lob pass, dunk, fast break. And keep in mind, Pistons don't run a whole lot.
No.
Chauncey Billups head up, makes the right choice. Much smaller Gary Payton, who offers no resistance on the defensive end. And Kobe Bryant, upset, should be upset with himself. He was the one who was supposed to cover that wing.
Crowd at full throat now with a 4-point advantage. Each team shooting 39%. Inside for O'Neal. Great hands as he beat the weak side help as well.
But guess what? The Lakers came out and moved the ball on the perimeter, swung it quickly, and got the entry into Shaq. There's no magic there, folks.
Here's Prince. Holding out away from Payton, looking for a cutter. It's Billups. Back for Prince. Wide open 3.
They struggle from the perimeter.
How about the block out from Walton? And we're going to get a double foul on Walton and Ben Wallace. Walton had turned around to face Wallace to block him out. He did everything he could do.
Yeah, but you know what? That's almost an automatic call because you've got to turn and look for the basket.
He never did.
He never did. He never turned his body. You know, you can hold and basically do all that stuff, but at the last minute, you've got to turn your body and look for the basketball.
And here we get the foul on Walton. He just picked up the double, and now an offensive. That should be 5 if it's on Walton.
Now, Phil Jackson really has no other options. And Luke Walton is really not getting the job done tonight. But Phil Jackson has no place else to go. He's got no one else to turn to.
And now the foul on Derek Fisher, who's got 4. So 2 quick fouls on Walton, give him 5. Now Fisher with 4. I guess they don't play that physical defense as well as the Pistons do, because they're getting called on a 2-to-1 ratio.
Well, they're not as quick as the Pistons, so they're forced into holding a little bit more on the perimeter, which the Pistons are not doing down the other end.
They can foul Walton out right here. Ben Wallace fakes him up. Shaq comes over to help and commits the foul. It's only Shaq's second.
Well, that's some weak side help defensively.
They're still just listing Walton with the 4. Now, the double foul is a personal, right?
Yeah. Unless they called it a double technical.
Well, it looked like a double foul because he gave that foul signal. There's a foul on O'Neal.
Yeah, no question about that call. But if it's a double technical, it doesn't go as personal.
Right.
So maybe that's what they did. And no shots either on a double technical.
Ben Wallace hits a free throw. 3-point game.
What's got to be worrisome to Larry Brown is that the Lakers have played terrible.
Oh, Wallace got his own miss and put it back for a 5-point lead. Matches their largest.
How does that happen that the shooter gets the rebound on the missed shot?
Should never happen.
That's right. But again, you know, Larry Brown's got to be a little concerned. The Lakers have played terribly, and yet they're only 5 points down.
With Shaq going to the line, which could leave them 5 points.
Somebody has responsibility to block out the foul shooter.
And it's automatic. At every level, somebody says, I got shooter. I mean, it's just right. It's just one of those things in basketball.
It's one of the first things that you learn in a game situation. You take the shooter, block him out. That's your only responsibility. Block out the shooter.
Kobe's going to come out. Probably not for too long. Devin George in. There are the numbers game to game from O'Neal. Huge drop-off in Game 3. But, of course, the Lakers at a franchise low 68 points. Nobody scored in that game for Los Angeles. Both free throws good for Shaq. A 3-point game.
And the Lakers just keep hanging around.
Billups. Now it's Wallace left all alone. Shaq backed off, and for good reason. Then came up with another rebound.
And bodies were flying because Shaq was determined to get that rebound.
Here's Devin George, the drive, the whistle, and 2 free throws coming.
See, Devin George could do that a lot more because teams play him to take the jump shot. He has almost become a jump shooting specialist, and if he just simply takes the ball to the basket once in a while, those jump shots would fall. You've seen Jim Clemens, assistant coach for the Lakers. He has been around a long time. Had a short head coaching stint, but has been with Phil Jackson both in Chicago and in L.A. Pretty good player, too. From Ohio State.
Back in the 70s, right? Thereabouts.
Did Devin George just brick 2 free throws?
He did. Still a 3-point game. Now he'll try to shut down Richard Hamilton. Easier said than done. Hamilton forces the switch. Finds Rasheed in the corner. Wallace hits again. He's got 20.
Pretty good ball movement. Rip Hamilton not forcing. Rasheed Wallace wide open, makes the jump shot. 20 points for Rasheed Wallace.
Down low for O'Neal. Drop steps and count it. Shaq will have a chance for 3. Continuing to operate down low. He's got 29.
And he just set that play up so perfectly, bringing Rasheed Wallace into the middle. See it right here. Little physical, brings him into the middle, but has that drop step all set up. And he makes the layup at the free throw line.
Only the 3rd foul on Rasheed Wallace. Missed the free throw. You got to be kidding. We're gonna have another lane violation. The 3rd of the game. Is this a point of emphasis in the playoffs?
Well,
we've seen a whole lot of it.
I know, we have. And I guess the Pistons just automatically assume the Chat's going to miss.
Well,
and there's going to be a rebound to be had.
You know, normally that line is really blurred. They seem to allow the guys in there well before the release.
And Shaq really doesn't have a hitch in his shot that would force teams to jump in the lane early.
Here's Billups operating out front. Loses Fisher behind the screen and drains the 3. Largest lead of the game.
You know, if you're the Lakers, you want to say, okay, Chauncey Billups, I got to give you something, so I'll give you the perimeter jump shot. But yet Chauncey Billups makes that shot.
And he has made it with regularity in the finals. Shaq inside, and he was fouled again. They got Rasheed Wallace. It's his 4th.
See, you set up a guy when you play a guy in the post. And Shaq set up Rasheed Wallace. Last time he used the drop step by coming into the middle first. This time comes into the middle, continues into the middle, gets Rasheed Wallace thinking. He's upset about the call. There's no mistake about that call.
Rasheed Wallace is killing the Lakers tonight. I mean, you might think they'd be well served to just go right at him again somehow. Although they could easily, the Pistons, put Ben Wallace on O'Neal full time.
Well, but again, when the Lakers are determined to get the ball into Shaq, doesn't matter who they put on.
More lane violations. At this point, the Pistons got to be going, what's going on here?
That's, by my count, 3.
3 against Detroit and 1 against the Lakers.
And the one against the Lakers was with Ben Wallace on the line, another poor free throw shooter.
Everybody stayed in their spot there. Luke Walton pushed off. That will be his 5th. Earlier, we had credited him, or discredited him, with his 5th foul. And apparently, it was only his 4th. Well, no, we were right to begin with. He has fouled out. So the double foul did go as a personal against Walton. And that's it. His night's over with 6 minutes and 3 seconds left.
Well, now what is Phil Jackson doing? Who does he come in with? If it's me, I come in with Rick Fox. But we'll see what the Zen Master has up his sleeve. Karl Malone, you know he wants to get into the game.
And it would appear that his night is over, given that he has not played in quite some time. Medvedenko coming up off the bench. Kobe Bryant over also to talk with Phil Jackson. And Kobe's going to come back in now. Well, the margin for error is pretty much gone for the Lakers. They really can't afford to go down 3-1. They're down 5. There's only 6 minutes left in Game 4. Medvedenko has done just about nothing tonight. He's made a free throw, missed all 4 of his shots from the field. Pressure on the inbound.
You know, it's not that he's done nothing. He has hurt the Lakers when he's been in there.
Worse than nothing.
Hurt them defensively, taking bad shots.
Prince gives it up to Wallace. That's a 3. Hit the shot clock on the rebound over to the Lakers. And with 5:45 to play in the ball game, a timeout on the floor.
Have not stepped up.
It's been a theme in this final.
I mean, it's been Shaquille O'Neal against the world.
The only other guy in double figures is Bryant with 14, but it's been on 6 of 21 shooting. And here is Kobe now into the lane, sets up Shaq for the dunk, fouled from behind, and the question would be why? Just let him dunk it.
Yeah. Well executed play by the Lakers coming out of the break. Kobe on the penetration, draws a crowd. Leaves Shaq wide open, and Kobe with the drop down. We weren't seeing that early in the game. Kobe on the penetration was trying to force his offense. Makes the smart decision.
Shaq missed again. You know, where we did see it was down the stretch in game number 2 and in overtime. Right. Kobe Bryant took over the game, taking it to the basket and helped lead the Lakers to victory. Their only victory of the series. Billups for 3. Oh, he hits again. Chauncey Billups has come up time and time again in the NBA Finals.
What a nice job, though, by Rip Hamilton. Got the ball, went up to shoot it himself. Kobe Bryant dropped down to help, and Rip Hamilton reacted by giving it back to Chauncey Billups, who made the shot.
Fisher tried to answer, couldn't, and Medvedenko pushed off on the rebound.
See the reaction by Rip Hamilton when Kobe Bryant dropped down to help. He just finds Chauncey Billups for the wide open 3.
Billups 7 of 11 from the field in this ball game. Now shooting up around 50% for the series. This from a guy who shot 37% in the playoffs coming in and 39 in the regular season. Bill Jackson using a timeout for the Lakers. Push has come to shove.
And some give and take in the Laker huddle, though. The freedom of the players to speak. Bill didn't agree with what Kobe was saying, obviously.
And that has happened quite often in their time together. Things coming to a head a little bit between those two. Will either or both be around next year? All those questions to be answered, but for now, a championship is to be fought for, and right now, it is the Pistons who are fighting harder and more effectively
and smarter, and without headbands. And Rasheed Wallace either losing his headband or getting rid of it, and I believe Rip Hamilton did likewise.
Well, Rasheed Wallace's wristband on his left wrist is big enough for both wrists and the head. This is the largest lead of the game, 7 points now. And for a team that's very hard to score against, this lead perhaps seeming even larger. He gets them both, does Wallace. 8-point game. This has been the signature game for Rasheed Wallace. And Payton turned it over.
Yeah, they're calling him for an offensive foul. And you know what? I really have to question that call because he was bumped a couple of times by Rip Hamilton coming up the floor. And here he just pushes it a little bit, and Rip Hamilton buys the call. Another foul here. It's getting a little nasty.
Well, yeah, it's getting nasty, but right now it looks like the frustration for the Lakers is coming through to the point where they're almost saying, hey, the heck with it.
Yeah, you got to really wonder about that call, too. I mean, that's more or less inadvertent contact. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree on that. The replay, I mean, Kobe was just going stride for stride with him. He wasn't leaning in. He wasn't pushing him. And a technical added to that. Going up to Jack Knees. There it is. And some magic words. Didn't take Knees long to tee him up.
Absolutely the frustration showing on the Lakers' part.
Billups can make it a 10-point game. Now he'll have another shot to do it. Only his second missed free throw of the finals.
Got another strong game. 21 points, 7-11 from the floor.
Now the Lakers feeling some frustration. There's no doubt about it. The question, can they redirect this and execute?
Well, they've gone away from what worked for them for certain stretches of the game, and that's getting the ball into Shaq's hands.
There's Kobe, high off glass, and it goes down. .16 for Kobe Bryant. Still an 8-point Detroit lead, under 4.5 minutes to play.
There's still plenty of time left in this basketball game.
Billups, 6 on the shot clock, open for 3. Prince kept it alive and came up with it.
And that's 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan going against Gary Payton, who's about 6'3".
The offensive rebounding battle has been pretty even so far, and a foul away from the ball. Hamilton went flying into the first row. Fouls on O'Neal, it's his third.
This game is not out of reach, but the Lakers are making it out of reach by what they're doing or not doing defensively and offensively.
Larry Brown refusing to enjoy even 1 second of it. He can see his team go back up by 10 with under 4 minutes left. Kobe Bryant, saw him 7 of 22. 3 fouls, picked up a tee. Hasn't got to the free throw line once tonight. Rip Hamilton really building his NBA reputation with this playoff run. In his first trip to the NBA Finals, averaging 23 points a game. And now with 14 tonight. Here's Kobe. Running 2 guys at him. Medvedenko's open. Fakes. Drives. Lobs for O'Neal, who dunks it home. Did Slava Medvedenko just pass the basketball?
I think so. I'm not totally sure, but I think he made a terrific play.
Hamilton gets himself free. Puts it up soft.
And Derek Fisher forced him to guarding Rip Hamilton and is not comfortable or not used to fighting off weak side screens and getting through them, and Rip Hamilton taking advantage of that.
Kobe launches from deep. Billups the rebound.
Don't need that shot at this point if you're the Lakers. There's still time.
Kobe will try again on Billups, and a foul away from the ball. This one's on Hamilton. So maybe he's pushing off. Hamilton and the Pistons keep their cool, and why not? They're less than 3 minutes away from going up 3-1 in the NBA Finals, and they've got a 10-point cushion with width to do it. 81-71, Pistons in the fourth. Next, as the Pistons and Lakers are down inside the final 3 minutes of Game 4, and things are looking very good for Detroit. A 10-point lead. Rip Hamilton has shaken off a tough first half, and now has 15 points.
And he's just played a smart game. I mean, he hasn't forced shots. He's just taken the shots that are there in the flow of the offense. And when he doesn't have a shot, very willing to give it up to somebody who does have a better shot than he does.
And a lot of times that's been Billups and Rasheed Wallace, who have split 44 points right down the middle. Wow, we have a Bryant Russell sighting in the Laker lineup right now.
And Shaquille O'Neal had called for this last game, that he wanted to see Bryant Russell in the game. Now, preface that by saying they are very close friends off the court.
It is odd how quickly the downturn in Russell's career, a key performer for Utah Jazz teams that made 2 NBA Finals, and has really not found any minutes at all with the Lakers, now in his 11th season. 13 minutes a game during the regular season. That's gone down to almost nothing in the postseason.
Not almost nothing. It's gone down to nothing, essentially.
Averaging about, well, 4 appearances in their 20 playoff games. 4 appearances total, only about 10 minutes of total action.
And he only made a token appearance here. Bill took him right out.
9-point game. Oh, Hamilton may have gotten away with a push-off on Fisher. Now he gives it to Rasheed Wallace. Turnaround.
Oh, you know his offense is flowing when he can take a fall-away turnaround from the post and make a tough shot like that.
Not only are the Lakers not cutting into this lead, the Pistons are extending it. Kobe will get a chance to cut in here at the free throw line.
Well, what Larry Brown does not want to see is fouls called on the Pistons. Look at this shot. A tough turnaround. No hand in his face, though.
Rasheed Wallace got 24 points and 12 rebounds.
That's a solid outing. That's his best outing so far.
Oh, by far, and this is why they got him. Devin George comes in for Derek Fisher for the Lakers. Here's the free throw disparity. 35 attempts for Detroit. Kobe's got them both. Oh, they thought they got the steal, but instead a foul. Fourth foul on Devin George.
Now the Lakers forced into full court pressure. And almost forced into committing fouls.
And that is a problem because the Detroit Pistons, at least a lot of the guys that are going to have the ball, shoot it very well from the line. Billups, 88% on the season. Hamilton, 87% on the season. Only 2 free throws missed at all in the finals for Billups. One of them was tonight.
And what a benefit in a close game to have your backcourt guys be terrific free throw shooters.
And a miss. Second of the night for Billups. And that Detroit defense still smothering. Wild shot from Devin George. Bebedenko battling and puts it up and in. 8-point game. Under 2 minutes to play. Prince decides to pull it out.
Well, the Lakers cannot allow the Pistons to take time off the clock like this.
Not ready to start fouling yet, I guess.
Well, they don't want to foul. Billups.
Oh, that's got to be goaltending.
Absolutely.
It is offensive interference. They will wave off the basket.
Well, the Lakers don't want to foul Billups or Hamilton. And that, I mean, the ball hit off the rim and was in the cylinder.
International rules, this counts.
That's right. That's right. But there's no question that was still in the cylinder.
1:29 left in the ball game, an 8-point deficit for the Lakers. It's got to happen here. It's got to happen now for Los Angeles.
And they can't afford to take any time off the clock. They got to get into their offense, get a good, quick shot.
Kobe splitting the defense into the lane, flips it up and in.
That's a good, quick shot.
6-point game. Took only 11 seconds.
Oh, the ball was in Ben Wallace's hands. They had to foul him.
Rip Hamilton gets it across. Took a bump. No whistle. Here's Prince. Huge size advantage on Derek Fisher. Wants to back him down. Help comes. Rasheed from the free throw line hits again.
And Medvedenko dropped off Rasheed Wallace with the intent to help. The way Rasheed Wallace is shooting today, you can't lay off him.
He's hitting everything. 26 points. Leads the Pistons. Will it lead to a 3-1 series lead in the NBA Finals? We're 1 game minute from that answer.
Very thin.
And the Lakers front line and team getting out-rebounded 43-35 by this Pistons team.
And that's been a regular occurrence.
Yes, it has.
In these finals. Pistons have big bodies, active bodies, and they just rotate guys in and out at the big 4 and 5 position.
Under a minute left. Kobe around and out on the 3. Devin George the rebound. Here's Peyton. Kobe wants it again. He'll drive the lane. Reach in, stripped away by Wallace.
And once again, Kobe had Shaq point blank in the post.
Got a foul now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't matter who has the ball, you have to foul.
We're going to let it play. You can't foul now after blowing all that time off the clock. Hamilton sets up Wallace for 3. Been his night. Oh, Prince kept it alive. Wallace fouled by O'Neal. That was a costly, perhaps lethal possession for the Lakers.
Absolutely. That's a terrible, terrible defensive set for the Lakers. Number one, they allowed too much time to go off the clock. Did not foul. Let a wide open Rasheed Wallace take a jump shot and then did not block out and were forced into a foul. But the Pistons were allowed to take too much time off that clock.
The only saving grace, and it's a small one, is that Ben Wallace is 4 for 12 from the line today. But even so, they're 8 points down. There's only 22 seconds left.
The clock is your enemy, and you allow it to just continue to run without stopping it. Inexcusable.
And Wallace did his part for the Lakers, that is, missing ball. Fisher pull up 3. Rasheed the rebound. And now the Lakers foul. Devin George commits it on Rip Hamilton. There's something to say for Ed F. Rush. Fifth foul on Devin George, and this one is over. Bench about to be emptied for Detroit.
Well, not quite emptied. Darko Milicic isn't
He's up. Well, he's still got his warm-up on. He's not in yet and probably won't get in with only 9 seconds left. An 8-rebound advantage for Detroit. It's overcome a 3-turnover deficit. In the 27 previous NBA Finals, when a team went up 3 games to 1, that team has gone on to win the title 27 times. That is what Detroit is about to do here. Can they be the 28th?
Well, Darko is in the game, so I guess it is officially over. I'll tell you, Mark, I played on a team with the Boston Celtics that went down 3-1 against Philadelphia in the Eastern Conference Finals. We came back to win the final 3 games and go on to win a championship. But you're right, it was not in the finals. It is a difficult, difficult thing to do. And the way the Lakers are playing now, it could be impossible.
The Detroit Pistons win their 2nd game in a row at home and go up 3 games to 1 over the Lakers.